going back to just briefly how you're saying pharmaceuticals usually derived from natural substances, but they're like extracted and like made more potent. It may be that over time, over that progress, whatever it is we're talking about, whether it is pharmaceuticals, whether it is how we extract energy from the land, it may be that it ends up being the same as if we just shortcutted it and we just said, let's just take out what we see as the important thing. It may be that that is correct. But the problem is, like, you can't be sure. You're taking a risk. When you do it over a prolonged period of time, you're testing it and yeah, you're measuring the effects before they get too intense. And going back to reaction versus response, I really see this as generally applicable, that slowness gives you confidence and slowness gives you low risk, whereas speed gives you high volatility and high risk, but they may actually end up being the same. If you react to a situation, it may end up being the same as if you had sat down, thought about it, and then responded to a situation. The problem is you don't have that level of confidence, though, because when you slow down and you think about the situation, you're weighing up a whole bunch of different options. And that's the distinction that I want to make here. And that's what I want to kind of get across, that it's not I'm saying because we do something fast, it's going to be wrong. What I'm saying is because we've done something fast, we haven't taken into consideration everything else that it is affected by it. And like, I know that that's what we were saying the whole time, but I kind of just wanted to abbreviate it to that's how I tend to look at it, and that's how I package it into reaction versus response, and that's what it means to me. And that's like, every time I think about that and say that to myself, I'm expanding it out to, okay, that's what I actually mean by it. Doing something fast, you haven't considered everything, but it may end up being the same as if you had considered everything and then responded.
Yeah, I think so. Like the thing that was coming to mind throughout that was like the self-fulfilling prophecy, where people sort of go, see, I told you so, and it's like, yeah, you told me so, it happened this time, but what about the 9 times that you didn't tell me so and it didn't happen? So you don't consider them. You just consider the outcome that actually goes in the direction you wanted it to, and you hold on that to prove your future endeavors. And I think that that's what we should be careful about. I think that's what you're sort of saying, is that, yes, we can make a decision quickly, and maybe it actually is the right decision, but did we go through the proper process of consideration? Because you're not right all the time. And what happens when you're wrong? By the time you've gone through your process, it's too late to clean up the mess. And often what ends up happening is the mess is hidden. Oh shit, let's get rid of that. We can't show that to the world. Let's push that off to the side. And that's happened multiple times. I mean, there's many industries, from smoking, asbestos, pharmaceutical, all of those have been known to hide their mistakes, which have probably been often done through speed and hidden, probably because they don't want the speed of the system to slow down. Because if we're honest to ourselves, we'd say, look, you know what? We made a mistake here. We're probably going a bit too fast at that point in time. We need to make more considerations next time. So let's update the process to give it that space. And no, instead we hide it, ignore it, don't give it the daylight it needs. And then we always pull out these successful cases of how quickly we've gone through things, which is a self-fulfilling prophecy, a victim in your own success, I guess, in a lot of ways. So, yeah.